Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So a civil servant got married over the weekend and he spent 6 million naira on expenses. He was able to realize 350,000 naira from the total money spread. According to him, his wife wanted a loud wedding and he agreed. But now he is regretting it because he borrowed money. What are your thoughts on this? To join the conversation, you can call us on 0810-764-1679 or 090-241-63440. You could also tweet to us using hashtag YourView on TVC. On X, we're so used to saying Twitter. We're also live streaming on YouTube. You can go there and drop your comments. One of the ladies will pick your comments. So here is the true story of a civil servant. How much is a civil servant's salary? How did he afford 6 million naira? And for some people, 6 million naira is just money for drinks. As in, for some people, it's even event or hall self is for deco. So, but for this person, 6 million was a big deal. And what he realized from the wedding was 350,000 naira. Which also brings us to the point of, are you supposed to do events to realize money?
Exactly.
Well, was the expectation right or wrong?
You were very wrong.
Okay, so Nima, let me hear you.
The times that when I got married, glass cup used to be the most important thing in the wedding gift. And cooler. I didn't take any of my wedding gifts to my house.
Aww.
I'd set up my house, small family, small house idea before I got married. So my things, and I had aunties I knew want to come and spend money. I sent them freezer list, cooker list, everything list. The person that did not send my money. So I used my money. With my husband's money, we had our wedding. We had our house set. Everything that I wanted in my house was put there. Thanks to my husband. My husband was buying everything as if to make the list before the walima of my wedding, because I had my wedding and the walima a year after. But to put your interest in the party that you are doing to make money, it's possible in your circle. You know, the Ijebus do something. They don't come to your party and eat and get up. Yolu used to do one thing. As a Shagamu woman, whenever we're going for any party for anybody, she said, so that when we get there, we'll give them something. Yeah. I used to find it odd because me, I'm not Yoruba now, and I used to just go to party and enjoy my life and get up. So she would insist that we put some money together. No matter who the person was, if they born baby, we are going there as our community women, and as their driver that I am, we always have our money in our envelope that we will drop for the person doing party. Because we will eat at your party, we believe that you've spent money to host us, and we'll some way carry the cost. I learned that. But if you don't have those kind of people in your circle, sure, you know, go do party. You simply do the party as according to your body and your pockets. You don't do the party and get home and you'll be looking silly. You know, I see the pressure of this civil servant from the wife to meet society standards. But she did not realize that there are other standards after marriage.
Yes, so.
Me too, I pressured my husband when I was getting married. The pressure was, what will our health plan be? I remember that one clearly. Where's our HM? And he was like, I'm working on it. I need to see the health plan. I need to see if something were to happen to you, where I will take you. I will not be calling family and be saying, well, at the hospital, they say we should pay money for bed. God forbid it. The hospital should know to expect us. And he found it strange, but that was how I grew up. I remember that fight. We went to a funny hospital on Old Ojo Road, and you can't forget that story. Where we're looking for the package, we found the hospital that we've used now for 15 years. But that hospital knows me, knows my children, knows my husband, knows my parents, everybody has our history. Those were some of the things I fought for. So if you want to fight, fight for what makes sense. Because long run, I had fertility issues. And it was that hospital I had my first treatment till I had my first child. So imagine that we didn't have a plan. And one of my injections was 25,000 for the fertility injections I would take, progesterone injections I would take there. They find them up and down this Lagos to find. And the hospital always had it ready. So give me. I must take it within 3 days of a certain period, and they will have it. But imagine that we're queuing up with such so fight with your sense, because you really don't know what is ahead of marriage. But not that you want to satisfy society, you want to do picture, photo, shoot, all those nonsense and things that you like. If you want to shoot if you can afford it. But if you cannot afford it, let it go. Exactly. It's not do or die.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Nima, because people should get their priorities straight. And I'm so proud that you put health for your family, getting married first, because that shows your mentality and your way of thinking. And there's something I always say on the show: marry your kind, marry your type. Do you understand? Because you cannot marry someone that is making you go way and above your budget. I believe that for every individual, firstly, before you even want to get into raising the family. You should have a budget for everything, right? You should know how much you're earning, how much your partner.
Don't have budget though, but
yeah, you should not. At least, but when you want to plan, there must be a projection. You understand? You cannot just wake up and then go haywire and then borrow money and go haywire without even thinking of how you're going to pay back that money, even for something as simple as business. Even when you want to think about how many kids you want to have now in 2024, it's still budget planning. You have to think, like, can I afford this? Can I afford to feed or train these kids? So it is really crazy that a human being will go borrow money to have an elaborate wedding that they can't afford, expecting other people to fund it. If for Kukuma called the wedding fundraiser now, so that people people have a choice whether to attend or not to attend. Because people are attending your wedding to celebrate with you and then give you and support you from their hearts, whatever they feel like that they want to support them, the young couple with. But then if you call it a fundraiser, then people will not have a choice whether they want to attend or not. And if they're attending, how much they want to spend at a fundraiser, right? So him being upset now, I don't know what that is, but I hope he has also learned his lesson moving forward within the marriage, that when maybe that he has to be the one in charge of the finances of the family. That obviously his wife might not be the best partner to handle the finances of the family, because you can see what happened. Yeah. But it was really, for me, it was really a foolish act. Over to you.
Okay, so to start with, there is nothing like loud wedding of 6 million.
Yeah, loud.
Yeah, it's mute wedding. The wedding did not have volume. It doesn't have a volume. And to me, it's like, we just entered 70,000 minimum wage. So was it this era of 70,000 minimum wage he went to borrow 6 million? And I am most sure that he never told anybody he borrowed money from, that he wanted to use that money for a wedding. Somebody would have advised him sensibly. Now, on the other hand, if we begin to narrate, break down, I just see a man who is not man enough to take a stand.
Yes.
And these are where the faults begin to come in from. When you cannot take a stand against, I'm the one paying. Then when we were growing up, I thought the marriage idea was the parents sponsoring.
Yeah.
And
no, that's for
when
Yoruba.
we were growing up...
No, that's for the Yorubas.
That's for the Yorubas. Okay, yes, that's for my tribe. The Yoruba parents are the one, both parents are the parents of the bride, because they expect that as at that time, probably the child is not grounded enough to raise money for the wedding. So it used to be between the parents. But now that parents have neglected their duties, a lot of their duties, to the children who have started making money at an early age, we have seen a paradigm shift. That children now decide. In fact, children now pick dates and just go and give their parents that.
Yes, so.
And giving them the date is like, if you like attend, if you like not attend, I've given you dates. I've invited
that
you.
No old people were. There were no old people.
Do you understand?
Our own wedding is our parents'
Our parents'
wedding. Get it? So a lot of times when we now begin to aggregate all of this or propagate all of these stories, one, the man is not a fair man, and I foresee that there will be problems in the marriage because the wedding is just one day. The marriage is for a lifetime till the wheels fall off. So now that the girl has a bigger influence, are you telling me that if they go broke somewhere, the girl can say, oh, you're going to start Yahoo, and you start. Yes. Oh, you're going to start carrying gun, and you go there. So the man is not firm enough. Then, like Amaka also said, I'm also a believer of find your match. Either in bedmatics game, either in life, find your match. Because a lot of, there was an event I went to Anchor which day, and I was just making a joke about we women. That at the long run, we wear hair of 6 million on top of an empty head. Because there's no completed building inside that head. As in, very carcass.
Even carcass no day.
Even carcass no day. Some
people.
They've
not done foundation.
So when you begin to talk to a girl, from your talking stage, you should be able to analyze. You would have left her and let her wait for their Dangotes and their Denugas that can fund or propel that big wedding she wants. You're a civil servant, for crying out loud. So I want to believe that the next 1 year of your salary, are you paying debt? Or are you also begging people to service your debt? Now, what is her input? If she had made you spend 6 million, it means that this whole pain I'm reading is like the girl didn't even have an input, but she had a say to dictate how and where you want to spend the money. So from the beginning, from the foundation, this is all shades of wrong.
For me, it's the girl we should talk to. We should sit on that girl.
Now, another thing I think is that we don't teach contentment enough.
Exactly.
So the deficit from the girl might be from home.
Yeah, of
you
course.
might have transferred from home, the setting, then she grew up with it and mixed with some peers, peer pressure that had a larger than life kind of attitude.
Social media now, everybody wants their wedding to be trend.
Because I saw something that is quite related. Let me just drop it. The girl and her talking stage went to a club, and the guy gave her money to spend on strippers, and the guy was actually chastising her for spending only 1.5 on the strippers when he gave her a bundle of 50,000. And the guy was like, I can't do this anymore. My friends were watching. And in my head, I'm like, the person that have head did not have cap. The person that have cap did not have head. And
the combination did not
because
work.
You should be happy that, she could bring in some money, she could rake in
some
money.
money.
And the girl said, should I spray stripper and go home and drink Gary? And the guy was like, so these things, when people say follow your type, these are the conversations you must open wide. It's not conversation that you cover.
Yeah. So we'll go on a break. When I come back, I'll give my own opinion on this matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.